Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel and thank you so much for being here. Today I have that long promised Gua Sha video. I have these still nicely in my hand because I just filmed my thumbnail, and so I thought I would show you what we're going to be working with. So let's get into it. So before we ever get started, let me just tell you, this is completely unnecessary. For what we are getting ready to talk about, you could just have one, and it could be the one that you have found that fits your hand nicely, and they feel so nice. You just need to find one. I will show you things you can do with all of them, and I do use more than one, but to do what we're getting ready to talk about, you only need the one. Gua Sha is part of traditional Chinese medicine, and you can just use any stone. I have several stones that I will be showing you, but you just find the one that suits your hand, and it goes back hundreds, if not thousands of years, and it just means, Gua Sha means skin scraping, and they do it all over the body. I saw pictures when I was looking this up of bodies that looked battered and bruised from the massages that they had received intentionally from Gua Sha stones. It was amazing, some of the bruises. If you have the time, you should go out and check it out. You could just see where they had scraped right down, and on the body, not the face. I never saw it on the face. But what they say, and let me preface this with, this is just internet research that I did. I am not a massage therapist. I'm not an esthetician. I am just interested in Gua Sha. I did a lot of this research. If you have any concerns, you should go out and check out the research too. They do it so hard, the massage, that it leaves bruises. You're not going to do any of that with your face. As a matter of fact, with your neck, which we're going to talk about, you always want to use a really light touch. And with your face, they say you can go moderate to light. But again, if you have any medical concerns or anything like that, you should go out and read about it. But they say because it stimulates blood flow that it helps with cell regeneration and it just rejuvenates the look of the skin. So there are two main reasons that you want to do it to your face. One is it helps with lymphatic drainage, which is kind of what I'm focusing on because it helps with the puffiness. I bloat. I mean, if I eat a dill pickle, I'm bloated for days. They say that this helps with bloating in your face. And again, it helps with cell turnover and that kind of thing because of the increased blood flow. And another benefit that I have found from it is it's just more of that self-care that we're all talking about these days. It settles you in to take a few minutes with yourself, taking care of yourself. If you play some nice little ambient music, it can just be really some nice, and I know it's a buzzword now, self-care time. But I think that's a real thing. I think we all just need some quiet time that we can relax and take care of our skin. So when you use your Gua Sha stone, what you're going to do is you're going to start with a clean face, which is what I have, and not a stitch of makeup on. You want to moisturize because while you're doing this, you definitely want your face to be completely moisturized. But as you sit down to do it, you're also going to apply an oil to your face because you want the stone to glide. You don't want it to tug at all. Just like you tap under your eye when you put your eye cream on, you don't want this to have a huge pulling effect on your skin. And again, you'll just want a stone that feels good to you. I like all of mine. I like this one because of the notch that it has, and we'll get into that. But this is probably my favorite because it's a little bit longer. So when it's in my hand, see how my hand, I feel like I have total control of it. It seems easy to hold. This one, while I love it for the notch, I've kind of been looking for one that's just a little longer because then when I'm holding it, see, I almost have to, I wish I could grab it. That's all personal preference, just finding the one that suits you. And then we will also talk a little bit about rollers. That's not what I'm actually going to do really for the Gua Sha today, but there are also the rollers. And this is great also for the lymphatic drainage. It just feels so good. Even the rollers feel really nice. We'll get into all of that. So when you do your Gua Sha, what you're going to do is you're going to want to start with your neck. And I'm just going to refer to they again. And they is just all of the people that I read on the internet. They said you want to start with your neck first because when you open up your neck, when you massage your neck, and you're going to do it so lightly, but it makes your face muscles relax also, and it makes them more receptive to what you're getting ready to do. And the oil that I have today, because it's one that I just had up here in my room, is called Face Hero. And it says a powerful and protective face oil. And it's by Go-To, and it's just a face oil with good slip. So since I have that up here, I thought we would use that. When I do it, I just do a couple of drops, and I do my neck and face separately. My face tends to be so dry that I think that if I put the oil on when I do my neck, too much of it's going to absorb, and I'm just not going to have the slip that I want when I go to do my face. So I like to warm it up a little bit between my hands and just kind of press it into my neck. This oil smells so good. I should take this downstairs. That smells fantastic. Which, you know, when you're doing this kind of thing, the scent actually kind of gives you that relaxation feeling that you're kind of going for. So with Gua Sha, you can either work up, which is for lifting, or down, which is for drainage. Now you will notice when you do your face, you're mostly doing out, and you're gonna kind of work out and up. And that's taking you to drainage points also, but with your face, you really wanna work up. But with your neck, you can do either. So I generally try and do both. So you're gonna start with your neck, and this is the one time where if you have a notched Gua Sha stone, it's easier, either this or this. And for my neck, I prefer this one because it has that notch. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna start at the back of your neck. And I know you're not gonna be able to see this well. I'm gonna turn a little bit. And you're just going to work, I'm hoping you can see this, up into your hairline, and then you give it a little wiggle. And I'm just running right along my spine. And then you give it a little wiggle at the top. And it just starts relaxing those muscles. And it does. Everything you do with Gua Sha, and I probably won't do this today so that it's not a 3-hour video, but as a rule, everything that you do with Gua Sha, you want to do 5 times. So you would continue doing that 5 times. And then you work from your shoulder up to your jawline. At that point, I moved to this bigger stone because I use this edge. And whenever you do Gua Sha, you don't want to come like that at your skin. You're always looking for at least a 45-degree angle, or some of the videos I watch used it literally almost like flat to the skin. But you never just want to be like literally scraping at your skin. So after you've done the back, you come around to the side and you just work from your shoulder up to your jawline and give it a little wiggle to relax those muscles. And I am not pressing hard at all. You don't want to do that when you're doing your neck. So you would do this on both sides 5 times, and it just kind of opens up and relaxes those muscles. At that point, you move to the front of your neck, and you're gonna do the exact same thing. You're gonna work from your clavicle up to your jawline, and you just work nice and slowly, and then wiggle. And again, nice and slowly up, and then wiggle. And then you will also do the middle of your neck. Now again, you're doing your neck with a real, you're not pushing into your neck. And usually I use this, even though it's wider, I can, because it's already in my hand. So you just start again, right here at the base of your neck, work up your jawline, and wiggle. And they say that the wiggling is just to help relax those muscles. So you would do that 5 times. Now that your neck is all relaxed and happy, you can move on to your face. Sometimes at that point, I will take this just a couple of times and I will actually work back down, because that's for drainage. So the up was for lifting your neck, and the down is in theory to help with drainage. And you would just do that on both sides. It's so relaxing. Okay, next, let's move on to our face. So when I move on to my jawline, I like to go back to a notched one. And this is generally the one that I like on my face. And that's what I've said. I'd like to find it a little bit bigger so that it felt more comfortable to hold, like I was comfortable holding this one. See the difference in size? This one's probably about 3 inches at its longest. This one at its longest is probably closer to 5-ish. But this one, just because of that size, is easier to hold. But the notch in this one makes what I'm getting ready to show you so much easier. So whenever you're using this on your face, so that you don't pull your skin, you're gonna take and give yourself an anchor. So when I'm gonna do my jawline, I'm gonna start at the middle of my chin, so I'm gonna anchor right there with my finger. And I'm just gonna take this with the notch and run right along my jawline, up and out to my ear. And then you can give it a little wiggle. And again. And then you can give it a little wiggle. And if you have like TMJ or any kind of jaw situation, this feels so comforting, and it's helping relax that muscle, and it helps to debloat your face. But again, you're gonna do that 5 times on each side, up, out to the edge of your jaw, right to your ear, and give it a wiggle. So that's what you do on your face. But see how nicely that notch fits with your jawline? It's just perfect with that one. So after you've done that on both sides, you will move up. I don't think I ever saw anything that said that it matters, but I generally do jawline, jawline, cheek, cheek. But it doesn't matter. If you want to do jawline, cheek, eye, forehead, you do whatever's more comfortable for you. I don't believe that matters. For today's sake, because I don't want this video to go on for 3 days, I'm just going to do this side of my face because I'm right-handed and it's easier to show you than if I'm crossing over. So what I forgot to do before I showed you my jawline, but it doesn't really matter because my jawline is oiled. But before we go on, at this point, I oil my face because like I said, you really want it to have slip. So I've just taken 3 drops of oil and again, rub my hands together to warm it up. And I just press it into my face. And depending on my mood, sometimes I do this in the evening, sometimes I do it in the morning. It just depends on my mood. I don't do it every day. I try and do it at least a couple of times a week. But it's up to you. You can do it how often and whenever you want. So now I have that oil on my face, so I will have the slip so it won't tug at my skin. So back to this one because this is the one that I like most on my cheek. So you put your fingers right here at the edge of your nose and put this so you're kind of straddling. See how low my cheekbones are? I was never meant to be a model. You straddle your cheekbone with this if you can, and you're just going to put your fingers there so you don't tug. And now with the oil, I've got good slip, and just pull up, go to the hairline, to the temple area, and wiggle. And you're going to do that 5 times. And I can just feel, oh, it feels so good. I can just feel the way that feels right along because of this empty spot, both sides of that bone, up to the temple, and wiggle. 5 times. Next, you can do under your eye, which you're going to do under and out. If you have a stone like this, it makes it really easy because you have this small area. If you had like this one, you could use one of the notches. If you had this one, I would recommend using just that end. I have, and this is the first time I'm trying it, in my FabFitFun add-ons, I added this wand. And I noticed when I was unpackaging it, I wasn't really sure what I was going to use it for because they said any of the things that I just did, they said you could do that with. I don't like the way that feels as well. And that's what this is all about. It might be what you like the best, but you have to find what works for you. But one thing that they did say that I thought was really kind of interesting is they said that the small end worked perfectly for under your eye. So you would just hold the side of your nose when you do under your eye. And again, very light touch on all of this face. Do under your eye, up, out to your temple, and wiggle. This does feel really nice with this. And because of that point, it can get right up in there. And again, 5 times. I know I've only done 3, but that's what you would do. You'll have to let me know if you've tried this or when you try this. I almost feel like I can feel the drainage of it. I feel like it works for me. And like I said, that might be because I tend to really bloat, but I really feel like it works for me. You know what I should do? Well, I won't do it today. I should have done the full 5 and seen if we could see a difference between right and left after I did a full. I doubt that we can, but. Okay, and after the under eye, what you'll do is your eyebrows. And I like to take this nice notched one and just, you always put your fingers, I put my fingers right in the middle of my head, and you work down your brow and then turn it and come up and wiggle. And then again, around your brow, and you're not pushing hard with this one at all because it's literally on your eye. So you're just going to come around, barely any pressure, up, out to your hairline, and wiggle. I personally love that one. Around my temple, because I tend to hold a lot of my tension in my jaw. That feels so good. When I get to here and I'm doing the come around to, yeah, that just feels so relaxing to me. Next, you would do your forehead. For my forehead, because you're talking about more real estate, just by nature of forehead, I use the bigger stone and I use this curved edge because I like the way it fits right above my eye. So you just put your fingers right on your brow bone and you're just going to go up to your hairline and wiggle. And again, they say that helps relax the muscle with the wiggle. And I think it supposedly helps with drainage also. But it seemed to be a universal thing that everybody who knew about this said to do. So it must be true. So you would do that 5 times on both sides. And then what they do is they take just the center or a smaller one. You could probably use this one at that point if you wanted to. I don't find it, exactly. I don't find that to be incredibly, I just don't find that to be incredibly easy. That's just not going to be what I use that Gua Sha for. I like to take at that point this one because this is smaller, but it still has that little dip in it. And you put your fingers right here and then you can work up and it just fits really nicely in your forehead. I just really like the way that it fits. So I have found that there is benefit for me in having more than one, but it's absolutely not necessary to have all of these Gua Sha stones. It's just not necessary. So in theory, at that point, you've done all of the basic Gua Sha on this side. I did see a couple of people who said what they also like to do, because they say you're breaking up toxins under the skin also when you do it. They take one of the smaller ends and right in here in this nasolabial fold and right above your lip, they take this and just go back and forth. And they say that it helps stimulate the blood flow. And you know, that is where I tend, personally, that's where I'm going to wrinkle the most first. So I have been doing that since I read about that. And then I take this and the smaller edge on this and just kind of go back and forth. Now, I didn't do that in order. I normally do that before I do any of the rest of my face. I just forgot, sorry. But I figure anything that I break up, then when I'm then moving out, I'm moving those toxins out toward the lymph and it's getting rid of it with the drainage. So that is basically what you do with Gua Sha on your face. At this point, most days I take it one step further. I like to do it in my hair. And I have this Tropical Naturals scalp treatment that I am absolutely loving. I feel like it's starting to thicken my hair. I'm trying to make myself wash every other day. It is against everything that I know and love, but I'm really trying to do it. Today is day 2 hair because I knew I was going to get up first thing this morning and come upstairs and use this. And you don't want to do this on clean hair. So what I like to do is, let me show you. I take the Tropical Naturals scalp treatment and put a little bit, probably 5 drops in my hand, rub my hands together, and then put it along my hair. Just put it right down into my hair, massage it in the back. Sometimes in the evening when I use this, I just literally, I could show you guys now because I'm going to wash my hair in a little bit. I literally take the dropper and work it along my hair. Yeah. I just like the way that feels. But if you cannot want that much oil in your hair, I totally get it. And you can just get it on your fingertips and work it through. And this will leave your hair oily. Absolutely, it leaves my hair oily. That's why I do it before I know I'm going to wash my hair. And then I usually sleep on it. The scent doesn't, because the scent doesn't bother me, it has a nice scent. Just like your face, if you're going to do your hairline, you want to go ahead and have it oiled. So now, as you guys can tell, my hair is oiled. And see, I have some redness. It happens to me when I am so sensitive that if I did anything to my face, it's going to make it red. But I have this jade comb. And now is when I use this. And what I do is just to help with the relaxation and hopefully help it absorb into my scalp a little bit. And I just do it around the front and then at the bottom and the back is I just take this and extend. We worked to here with everything that we did on our face. So I just start at my hairline and work back a little more. And if you have super thick hair, this is not going to work great because these aren't sharp. But you could use, if you wanted to, it has an end. You could at this point just wiggle it back with that and just wiggle it. Because my hair is thin enough and will take it, I just like to kind of comb it back, slightly wiggle side to side, but just slightly. You never want to go in a round circle on your hair because it can tangle your hair. And you don't want to take a chance on tangling or matting your hair, especially when the reason you're doing this is to avoid breakage. But I do it all the way around to my other ear. And I generally, because I'm flying by the seat of my pants here, I generally do that twice. And then sometimes I will just take this and kind of pull through the rest of my hair just because I can. And then I take the back, move my hair a little bit, and just kind of work up into my hairline. This is absolutely me flying by the seat of my pants now. And that's all I do. You could do more. This is generally like a Sunday no makeup day routine for me, or an evening routine where I just totally relax. I do my Gua Sha, I do my hair oil, and then I wake up the next day ready for the world. So what we didn't really touch on with this, and you could totally use this because I know so many of you have gotten them in subscription boxes, but I didn't really get into the rollers. Technically, everything that I just did, you could do with a roller. And they will tell you that jade is different than quartz because each of the stones represents something different and they bring a different energy. Use what you have. Unless it matters to you and your soul and you want to have more, any of them will work just fine. I like them most if I'm doing a face mask, like I've put on a paper face mask, or on a day when I'm not doing Gua Sha, I will put on a serum and then just work in the same motions, just up and out, and the coolness feels fantastic and it helps the serum absorb. That just feels so good, especially along that jawline. That coolness feels just fantastic. But you can use this in the same way, in the same motions, just out and up as you use the Gua Sha stones. And then this, before I had all these Gua Sha stones, I would take the little end and over your eyes. I don't know about you guys, but that coolness on my eyes always feels so fantastic. You can use these rollers for that. And like I said, whether you have jade or whether you have quartz, they're all lovely. Like this is the Grace and Stella rose quartz one. And I will tell you, if you don't own one at all and you're thinking about purchasing one, the jade, I won't even say depending on who you order it from or the quality of it, because it can just simply depend on the one you actually get. It tends to be more veiny than the quartz, so it's not quite as smooth. If you want just the absolute smooth as glass feel, the quartz is just much smoother. It's just much smoother. I don't know if the jade gets cooler. This feels just as cool to me, I think. And people talk about keeping them in their little refrigerators, you know, their little makeup refrigerator, or in your kitchen refrigerator if you want, and that the coolness just feels fantastic. But you can do all of the same things with this, it's just slightly less aggressive. This one that I showed you is from OC, and they say that this is just from jade and resin, and it is to firm and define your skin. And then this one that you guys saw me use is white jade, and this is the Switch to Pure brand, and this has a $27 value. Actually, this one from OC has a $32 value. You can so often pick these up though. If you belong to Boxy or FabFitFun or Causebox, you can so often pick these things up now in the edit sales. I don't know that I would ever pay full price for one of these. But they say that this Switch to Pure one is white jade, and it is a $27 value, and it's for sculpting, firming, reducing wrinkles. It says it's smooth skin and diminishes puffiness. And then this one that I didn't show you, this is just another jade roller, looks like a normal one. Boop. And this is from Zoella, and they say that this studded side stimulates acupressure points, improving skin's elasticity and restoring a youthful glow. So this one is just a little, I don't love it as much. I wanted to love it because it is different, but what I love about the rollers is that they're so tender. This one you can feel the aggressiveness on it, but that probably means that it's better for you. You know, like those little micro needlers. I haven't done that yet. If you've microneedled, let me know below. My skin is so sensitive. I am so afraid of the microneedling. This Skin Owl one that I showed you and then dropped, and it survived, by the way, is white turquoise. And I just think that's really pretty. And like I said, for this job, and they probably want you to roll it, but with the oil on your skin, it's not tugging at all. So I think for that, it's really nice. It might would work in there really nicely. I like it. And then this is Earth Harbor, and I think I picked this one up in the marketplace on Causebox. It is a $29 value, and it says to stimulate your scalp and promote relaxation. The Zoella is $39.99, they say. I would not spend that for it. The white turquoise says it has a $42 value. I don't remember what I paid. I'm sure I told you guys when I did my FabFitFun add-ons. I want to say like $11, $12. But the takeaway from those prices is I did not purchase one of them at full price. Not one of them. Some of this stuff came in boxes. A lot of them I did as add-ons. Okay, I hope that did not get too confusing or too long. I guess I will find out in editing. I think I covered everything, but if there's anything that I didn't or anything that you can think of that you would like to know, I am more than happy to help. If it's information that I have, just let me know below in the comments. Let me know if you've tried it, if you like it, if you think it makes a difference. Thank you guys so much for coming by to watch this today. I will see you again really soon. Please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you'll know when I have more videos coming out, and go relax. Gua Sha. See you soon.